Hello, subordinate. I called you in here today because, frankly, I'm disappointed. Your work has been slipping. Your attendance has been spotty, and when you have been here, you've been showing up late, unshowered, and practically falling asleep. It's unseemly. It's bad for morale, and it's bad for business. Now, take a look at these numbers. Take a look at this chart. See this line going down? That's you. That's your productivity. It's in the toilet. Now, subordinate, as your superior, I take these things very seriously. I like to think that I run a tight ship, and your output, your work, is a reflection of my work. I won't have it. I won't have it. After much thought and debate with corporate on what to do about your situation, subordinate, I'm afraid I have no choice. Subordinate, you've been a hard and dedicated worker these past 5 years, but in light of your current behavior and output, I'm afraid I'm going to have to take more drastic measures. Therefore, and it gives me no pleasure to have to tell you this, I'm afraid I'll have to perform the sacred art of ASMR on you. My hands are tied, you see. Corporate has been cracking down lately, cracking down on stress in the workplace. Numbers don't lie. Stress is a productivity killer. And we can't be having that now, can we? So, I will be initiating the sacred rites of ASMR on you in what we're calling corporate mandated ASMR protocol. What? Fire you? Of course not. Don't be ridiculous. How would firing you reduce stress in the workplace? It makes no sense. Now, if one cannot deal with one's stress on one's own, then the matter becomes a company problem, and we will deal with it as a company. You want the company to thrive, don't you? Don't you? Good. Now, it's clear to me that you've been suffering from sleep deprivation brought on by stress in both the home and the workplace. Stress accumulates. Stress wears us out, breaks us down, makes us more prone to injury and illness, disturbs our sleep, and, worst of all, keeps us in a toxic cycle of stress and exhaustion. What's worse, our bodies don't distinguish between psychological stressors like emotional turmoil and the physical ones caused by, say, doing chest presses with a heavy barbell or running a marathon. The difference is, those physical stressors can make us stronger, healthier, if we get the chance to recover properly. And sleep is essential to that process. Sleep should be a non-negotiable. But, unfortunately, our day-to-day demands more and more of us. More of our time, more of our energy. Time and energy we could be spending taking care of ourselves. What kind of boss would I be if I let you continue in your poor health, letting your stress and discontent spread to your fellow employees? No kind of boss at all. No kind of boss at all. That's what. That chair you're sitting in reclines, by the way. Go ahead. Pull the lever on the side there. That's the way. Now, I have our corporate mandated itinerary right here, and our corporate mandated relaxation paraphernalia. Now we wait for the tea. Excellent. It's done. There you are. And one for me. That's good tea. Lavender chamomile. If you don't like the flavor of lavender or chamomile, that's perfectly fine. Sometimes I pour myself a cup simply to enjoy the aroma. One more. Simply divine. Next, according to the itinerary, I will use lighting to create an environment more conducive to your relaxation. It makes a difference. It really does. What's next? The lighting of the candle. This one's lavender too. Lovely. Would you like a sniff? Good. Lovely. What could be more lovely than a single glowing flame? Next, let's see, we will clear the space of negative energies and invite in those vibrations that will aid in your convalescence. This is Palo Santo, Spanish for holy wood. When it burns, it has a very sweet and woody aroma. Clears negative energies from space while maintaining the positive ones. We ask those energies that are helpful to stay, and those which are unhelpful to give us space for this moment. Now, I will read off the affirmations, and you will repeat after me. We have now created a sacred space, a space made only for me. This is mine and mine alone. Again, we have now created a sacred space, a space made only for me. This space is mine and mine alone. We have now created a sacred space, a space made only for me. This space is mine and mine alone. I cross the threshold into my sacred space, and immediately peace descends upon me. I cross the threshold into my sacred space, and immediately peace descends upon me. I cross the threshold into my sacred space, and immediately peace descends upon me. In this space, my rest is sacred. In this space, my rest is sacred. In this space, my rest is sacred. In this space, I allow myself to relax deeply, benefiting as much as I can from my recovery. In this space, I allow myself to relax deeply, benefiting as much as I can from my recovery. In this space, I allow myself to relax deeply, benefiting as much as I can from my recovery. Now, let's take a moment to let those affirmations incubate. That's good. Now, I'd like you to close your eyes and take a few calm breaths. Ready? Now we'll do some guided meditation. So let's set your tea aside on the desk, and I'd like you to lean back and get comfortable. Before I begin the meditation, let me just say, if you're someone who has a hard time visualizing things, don't make an attempt to do it. Just listen to my words, follow along, and ask any resistance in you to step aside for the time being. Just don't make any effort to see. Imagery should come as a byproduct. And if it doesn't come easily, just let yourself be receptive to the words themselves. This is your time to let go. You find yourself in a meadow. The grass grows to about knee length, and its scent is carried to you on a warm breeze that caresses your face as it passes. The sun is low and touches the tips of the hills as it descends, bathing the valley in shades of pink and orange light. Just north of where you stand, the meadow extends out about 50 yards to a wooded path. You find yourself compelled to walk toward these woods as you realize the sun is now half hidden behind the hills as night begins its lugubrious approach. Without even a trace of fear, you begin to trek across the meadow, sensing a barely perceptible tranquility as you approach the woods. The woods, you think to yourself. The woods are calling me to its heart. I must find its heart. You walk, unhurried and yet compelled toward the wooded path. You now stand before it, and you take a moment to stop and see how far the trail goes. It seems to go quite deep before it is obscured by the shadows. However, the trees seem to diffuse the evening light. The sun is 3/4 consumed by the hills, and the sky takes on a purple blush that fades into gold and rose gold hues as it stretches toward the horizon. The sun blazes through the trees, its light diminishing more and more with every step, it seems. Just as the last light fades, you find yourself approaching a great and ancient oak tree. This, you think, must be the heart of the woods. Before this tree, you see a fire has been built, and you become keenly aware of a slight chill as the last dying light fades and settles into night. The fire's warm blaze is inviting, and you sit down among a tangle of gargantuan roots. Far from being uncomfortable, though, the roots almost seem to embrace you like a mother as you lean back before the warm fire. You feel in the comforting roots of that old oak tree all the fatigue you've been experiencing lately begin to drain from your muscles and bones. All that stress in the bags under your eyes, the heaviness in your heart, and the overactive chattering in your mind. Now, I'd like you to take a few breaths, giving up your stress to the roots of the oak. Inhale, gathering up all that stress, all that fatigue, and then exhale, letting all the stress of the day, of the week, of the month giving it all up to the oak tree's roots, allowing it to take that stress and fatigue and transmute it into clean energy. And now, inhale. Inhale, gathering up all that stress, all that worry, and then exhale, letting it all go, soak into the roots. Big inhale, fill your lungs with clean, fresh air. Hold, gathering up all that stress, and then again, release it into the oak's roots. And now we'll take a few minutes to relax into the space that we've created for ourselves, allowing our troubles to more fully drain from us as we bask in the sacred space we've created. And now, open your eyes and find yourself back in my office. Well, that concludes our corporate mandated relaxation protocol. Let me just warn you, if you come into work again, sleep deprived and yawning at your desk, you'll be promptly escorted to the nap room on the second floor. And of course, if it becomes a pattern, we will have to have this conversation again, a longer guided meditation session, and maybe tuning forks, or even a singing bowl. Just try to maintain that work-life balance. All right, subordinate, that's enough. Back to work. Palantir didn't become the #1 data collection surveillance company in the world by slacking off. Remember, we're in the business of the things that are none of our business. Palantir, we're all up in your business. No, I told you I wasn't doing the accent because it makes me really uncomfortable.